The moment she said those words, my heart nearly stopped. I had known Rachel for almost 2 years, but in that single second, standing in the doorway of our apartment in Chicago, Illinois, it felt as if I was seeing her for the very first time. The room suddenly felt smaller. The air felt heavier. And the smile she gave me carried a sadness I had never noticed before. Before we begin, if you believe in kindness, forgiveness, and second chances, please take a moment to like this video. Leave a comment, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to the channel. Stories like this remind us that sometimes the people closest to us are carrying battles we cannot see. Rachel and I had been roommates since college. After graduation, we both found jobs in Chicago and decided to continue sharing an apartment to save money. She worked as a nurse at a local hospital, while I worked in marketing for a small company downtown. To everyone who met her, Rachel seemed like she had everything together. She was intelligent, funny, responsible, and incredibly caring. She was the type of person who remembered birthdays, checked on sick neighbors, and volunteered at local shelters whenever she had free time. Yet despite living together for 2 years, there was always a wall around her. Not a rude wall, not an unfriendly one, just something invisible that kept people from getting too close. At first, I assumed she was simply private. Everyone has their own way of handling life. But over time, I noticed things. Some nights she would sit alone on the balcony staring at the city lights for hours. Sometimes I would hear her quietly crying behind her bedroom door. Whenever conversations turned toward family, relationships, or her past, she would quickly change the subject. I never pushed. I figured she would tell me when she was ready. Then came the charity gala. Rachel had received an award from the hospital for her outstanding service during a difficult year. It was a huge achievement, and I was genuinely proud of her. The night of the event, she emerged from her room wearing a dark burgundy dress. For a moment, I was speechless. She looked elegant, confident, and absolutely stunning. Without thinking, I smiled and told her she looked beautiful. That was when she gave me that strange smirk. Then she quietly said that I wasn't looking at the dress. The comment caught me completely off guard. I laughed nervously, unsure what she meant. But she didn't laugh. Instead, she looked away for a brief moment. I saw something painful flash across her face. Then she grabbed her purse and headed toward the door. The entire ride to the gala felt different after that. Something was bothering her. Something much deeper than a simple compliment. Throughout the evening, I watched her accept her award. People applauded. Co-workers congratulated her. Hospital administrators praised her dedication. Everyone saw a successful young woman standing on stage. Yet somehow, she looked lonely. More lonely than anyone in that crowded ballroom. Later that night, after the event ended, we returned home. The city was quiet. The apartment was dark except for the soft glow of the kitchen light. Rachel sat at the dining table without speaking. I made coffee and joined her. For several minutes, neither of us said anything. Then unexpectedly she started talking. Not about the gala, not about work, about her life. The story that followed changed everything I thought I knew about her. When Rachel was 16, her mother became seriously ill. Medical bills piled up. Debt consumed the family. Her father left when things became difficult. Suddenly, a teenage girl found herself caring for her mother while working part-time jobs just to keep food on the table. While her classmates attended football games and parties, Rachel spent nights in hospital waiting rooms. While her friends planned college visits, she worried about rent payments. Then, shortly before her high school graduation, her mother passed away. The loss shattered her world. She had no siblings, very little extended family, and almost no support system. For years afterward, she convinced herself that her value depended entirely on what she could do for others. If she helped enough people, maybe she would be worthy of love. If she worked hard enough, maybe she could earn happiness. If she sacrificed enough, maybe she wouldn't feel so alone. Listening to her, I finally understood why she always looked exhausted, why she never spoke about herself, why she kept everyone at a distance. She wasn't protecting her privacy, she was protecting her heart. Then she explained what she meant earlier. When I complimented her dress, she said she knew I wasn't really looking at the dress. She said I had been watching her for months, not in a romantic or inappropriate way. In a caring way. I noticed when she skipped meals. I noticed when she worked too many shifts. I noticed when she came home emotionally drained. I noticed when she needed someone to talk to. She said most people only saw what she accomplished. I was one of the few people who seemed to see her. The real her. The tired, struggling, imperfect human being behind the accomplishments. And that terrified her. Because being truly seen meant becoming vulnerable. For the first time in years, Rachel allowed someone close enough to understand her pain. Over the next few months, our friendship deepened. Life wasn't magically fixed. Trauma doesn't disappear overnight. Loneliness doesn't vanish with a single conversation. But things slowly began changing. Rachel started seeing a therapist. She reduced her overtime hours. She began taking care of herself with the same compassion she showed everyone else. And little by little, she started smiling again. Real smiles. Not the polite smiles she wore for patients and coworkers. The kind that reached her eyes. The kind that revealed hope. One winter afternoon. Several months later, we visited a local shelter where Rachel volunteered. As we handed out meals and spoke with families struggling through difficult times, I noticed something remarkable. Rachel wasn't trying to save everyone anymore. She wasn't carrying the weight of the entire world on her shoulders. Instead, she was simply present. Offering kindness. Offering encouragement. Offering humanity for the first time. She seemed at peace. That day taught me something important. Many people spend their lives feeling invisible, not because nobody notices them, but because nobody truly sees them. They are seen for their achievements, their appearance, their job titles, their responsibilities, but not for who they really are. Rachel spent years believing she had to earn love, earn acceptance, earn belonging. Yet the thing she needed most was something far simpler. She needed someone willing to stay, someone willing to listen, someone willing to remind her that she mattered, even when she wasn't rescuing anyone else. As time passed, our friendship became one of the most meaningful relationships in my life. Not because it was perfect, but because it was honest. We learned that strength isn't pretending you're okay. Strength is allowing others to see when you're not. And sometimes the bravest thing a person can do is admit they need help. A year after that gala, Rachel received another award. This time, when she walked onto the stage, she looked different. Still confident. Still elegant. But lighter, healthier, happier. The burden she had carried for so many years no longer defined her, and watching her stand there, surrounded by applause, I realized the award wasn't her greatest achievement. Her greatest achievement was surviving everything she had endured, without losing her compassion. Before we reach the ending, I have a special request. Please comment below with the words, "You matter." You never know who might read your comment today and need that reminder. As I sat beside Rachel after the ceremony, she smiled at me. No sadness, no hidden pain, just gratitude. In that moment, I finally understood what she had meant all those months ago. I wasn't looking at the dress. I was looking at a person who had spent years carrying invisible scars. A person who desperately wanted to be understood. A person who needed someone to see beyond appearances. And perhaps that's the lesson all of us need to remember. Every person we meet is fighting battles we know nothing about. The coworker who seems distant. The neighbor who never talks. The friend who always claims they're fine. Sometimes they aren't looking for solutions. Sometimes they aren't looking for advice. Sometimes they simply need someone to see them. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like the video. Leave a comment, share it with someone who needs encouragement, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps these stories reach people who may need hope today. Because in a world where so many people feel invisible, choosing to truly see one another might be the most powerful act of kindness we can offer. And sometimes, that simple act can change a life forever.